to her son. And I think this is a much needed conversation. But the thing with Trish is, Trish doesn't know how to communicate. I feel like she doesn't know how to really express her feelings. And I've been saying this. I was happy to see that she did kind of take Ken's advice and get some type of help. You know, try to see the therapist, because I feel like Trish has a lot of stuff going on within her, a lot of anger, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, and she doesn't know how to express that. So I feel like she's guarded, and she kind of don't really, like, her son was talking to her, and like you could tell he was giving her eye contact, and she was looking all over the place, like she doesn't know how to really have those hard conversations and make that eye contact with him. Her son seems to be very mature for his age, a lot more than the adults around him, unfortunately. And it's tough for a kid to be in the space of 3 grown-ups trying to figure it out. And he's like, you know, he's just trying to not go off on the deep end. So he's like, in the deep end, it's him getting depressed, because at the end of the day, whether we think Marquez is a great father or he did his bullshit, or whether, I don't know his relationship with his kids. We only know what Trish tells us, that part. We know the little part that he told us when he did go to Atlanta and all that, and whatever they had going on. But at the same time, Marquez is grown now. He's a young adult. So his daddy was in his life the majority of his life. Well, probably his whole life. But, you know, besides when he went to Atlanta, he was in his life for the majority of his life, put it like that. They've always had a relationship. So, and he said he don't have a problem with Ken, but like I've said multiple times, the problem is really Trish. Trish is still hurt from Marquez. I feel like if Marquez was really to get his shit all the way together and was open to going to therapy and rekindling it and getting on the right page with Trish, I wholeheartedly believe she would go back to Marquez. I feel like she still loves him. He's hurt her. You know, the stuff that happened with her family in the past and stuff, and she talked about that a little later on. But I feel like that right there is really what hurt her the most with Marquez, and that's why she don't like him. Which she have great, you know, reason too. But I feel like with her not being able to let it go though, she takes that out on everybody, and that's driving a wedge between her and Ken, her and her son. And her son is in the middle because that's his dad, that's his mama. At the end of the day, yeah, Ken, he has came in the picture, but that's his mama and his dad. And no matter what Ken ever does for him, that's his dad. He's gonna always love his dad. And you know, I feel like he probably feel like he has to be in a position to choose and to walk on eggshells, and to, because he don't want them to fight, and then it's like he damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know how they go. If he want to go spend time with his dad and stuff, we don't know how Trish feels about that. Like, it could be a lot. I just feel like this was a hard conversation. I do feel like he seemed like he's a stand-up young man, and I just feel bad for him because he's caught in between. You know, he's caught in between 2 people that he loved wholeheartedly. One person that he has, you know, grown to love, and who, you know, who does for him, and who's in his life, and who's helping him, and who he appreciates. And I feel like he's getting put in a position of adults who are being selfish because they can't handle their emotions. And he's basically like the one who is more mature, unfortunately. Destiny go meet up with Twan, child. They just reaching for a storyline at this point. I'm convinced. We know that Twan is Lance's god brother. I guess Destiny says she run through the family. Hey, what's up? But she's saying she's not intimate, so she can date, which is cool and it's true. I'm an advocate for dating around, but not dating family, not dating homies, not. No, I don't care if you're not intimate with them. It just makes you look crazy. We know Chris and Nell is not feeling it. Some of y'all are saying that Destiny, she's single, she should be able to date who she wants to, and she should. But I just feel like, out of all the people, why you trying to date Twan? Which Twan not bad on the eyes, so I get it. But girl, then not only that, Lance do got a baby. He got a new baby, so it wasn't nothing there. But it's just one of the, they agreed to be friends. Like I said, I feel like this is our for storyline. We know Destiny don't have a storyline. She never talks about what's going on in her life for real. She's always making everybody else her issue, so she won't have to talk about what's going on in her life. So now, what better storyline than to go after the god brother when you was with Lance? Like, why not? So yeah. Like, it is what it is. Destiny moving like she at her young and stuff. So, like I said before, if this was really real, I don't know why Lance wouldn't feel his heart away towards Twan, because Twan absolutely knew that, who Destiny was, and that you hired her. You hired him for her event. So Twan, I guess that's men really don't be caring. I don't know, but I'm over the whole Destiny and Twan and whoever situation. Like, can we get a real storyline from you, Destiny? Because I don't even think this is real for real. We see Trish and Ken talk, and y'all, I always said that I felt like Trish, maybe she's just wanting to be with Ken because she know Ken is going to provide for her. But at the same time, I do kind of give Trish a little grace because she been through a lot. I didn't know that her sister died in her arms. So I feel like she's been through a lot, and she's saying that she told the therapist that she didn't want to get close to people because she's scared that they're gonna leave her. And she lost her mom and her dad, like I think within the 7 months time frame. Then she lost her sister died in her arms, and then at the time of her losing these people, her and Marquez started going through, and he up and went to Atlanta. And she felt like, the person that was supposed to be there to hold her down, which was Marquez, up and left her. And I feel like now she's just she's in a mind frame where she want a man, she like what Ken provides for her, but deep down she really doesn't want to be there with Ken for real. Because, and I don't want to say she don't love the men, because I don't know these people personally, and I don't know their relationship on a day-to-day to say that. We just speaking about what we see on the show. And I feel like she love what Ken does for her. She love that Ken provides, and Ken is going to make a way. And she don't have to worry about dealing with Marquez for things, because she know Ken is going to handle it. Not only that, she know Ken is catering to her, which, don't get me wrong, Ken, he have his faults too, but that's everybody. We all have our good and bad, so I'm not even here to chastise him on that, because we do know he throw up stuff in her face too. So he's not all clean, but she's not either. I just feel like she's dealing with a lot mentally, emotionally. She has a lot of trauma, and I could see her not wanting to get close to people. Like, you go through all these deaths in such a short time frame, and then a man that you've been with since you was literally teens. And that's another thing, kind of how I was saying with Leticia. They've been with these men since they was teens, and I think the only reason she left Marquez for real is because Marquez up and moved to Atlanta. I think if Marquez would have still been there in Huntsville and was still seeing her, she would have never left him for real. But because he moved to Atlanta, they probably kind of forced her, because we do know Marquez did say that she cheated and she met Ken. And she probably was looking for an outlet at the time, and she started going to the gym. And if Marquez wasn't in the gym and she did meet Ken there, she probably did look to him and start liking him. And, you know, it was something different. But I don't think that she would have completely left Marquez if he wouldn't have left for real. And I think now she have issues with getting close to people, because, and she said that, like, you know, that so much stuff has happened trauma-wise, and then the person who you have your kids by, that you've been with for years, I'm pretty sure when you've been in a relationship like that for years with somebody, and that's all you know, that's like your best friend and stuff, and he ups and leaves, and it's kind of like, well, goddamn, you know. So that could be the reason why too. Now that I'm saying this and I'm thinking as I'm talking, that could be the reason why she gravitated to Ken, because Marquez left and here go Ken. He was there being nice. We see Ken seems like he have a savior complex, and he wants to do everything to please his woman, which is nothing wrong with that. But I think Trish seen that, and that's why she went for Marquez. And I mean, that's why she went for Ken. And when Marquez came back in the picture, that triggered her, because she still have unhealed emotions and stuff from Marquez. And then he comes back and you act like everything is good, and it's not. And you know, that's all she know. Like, yeah, she's been with Ken for the last 3 years, but y'all have to be realistic here. 3 years with Ken, but 10 plus years, and it's probably was more of a 15. Shoot, their son is what, 19? They was together before they had their son. So that's like 20 plus years that she was with Marquez over Ken, little 3 years. Y'all think that she is completely over Marquez? It is crazy. Like, she feel away, but her way of getting over Marquez is through Ken. But we all, the saying is, to get over a person, get up under another person. But we all know, if you really, really love somebody, it don't matter if you get up under another person. That other person still gonna be on your mind, and you still gonna feel a certain type of way. And I think that's the issue here. She's not completely over Marquez. She haven't healed from that situation, and she haven't healed from the trauma, which that's stuff that, like I said, that's one of those things that's not going to, she probably would never heal from, like her sister passing in her arms, the death of her mother and her father back to back. You know, that's, and especially that they was a tight, close-knit family. That's something that you never truly heal from. But I feel like hopefully her going to therapy is a better way for her to cope. And I would actually say Trish is her, like I said before, if Trish talk about her true story, she is the one who really has a true storyline. Outside of Mel and Martell, when they was on, you know, when Martell is still here, but outside of Mel, when she was on the show, and her, you know, what was going on was actually real reality, I feel like Trish has real reality going on. And of course, I feel like since she's so awkward and she's going through what she's going through, she don't want to, you know, talk about those things all the time. So she kind of try to find other ways to navigate. But I feel like if she really just focused on her story, she would actually be a real breath of fresh air, like, honestly, if me being real, because she has stuff that people can really relate to. You know, she has a story that people can really relate to, and grief is one of those things that it's not easy to get over. And when she sat down with Dr. Francis, we learned a little bit more about Trish, and that you know, how she says that's why she works out, because that's her way of relieving her anger, and because she's mad, and she has right to be, you know, that's one of those things where when you lose people that you really, really love and you cannot understand, and then not only that, like I've said previously, you lose a relationship. Like, a lot of people don't like to admit this, but like I say, I'm gonna be real and be honest with y'all. A lot of people don't like to you know, when you been in a relationship for so long, you grieve that relationship just like a person's death, but they are still here. And I feel like that's why Marquez trigger her so bad, because he's here, he's in the flesh, and that's all she knew. That's her true love. I'm excuse me, I'm not gonna say that's, I don't want to say that's her true love, but that's a person that she was deeply in love with, that she have a lot of history with. Her kids' fathers, you know, they was together for a long time. They came up together. They seen each other in different phases, and so when he comes around, and that triggers her. That's why she don't want him to be cool with Ken. It's not because he's just such a bad person and he made his mistakes. I mean, that could be part of it, of him making the mistakes with the kids going to move to Atlanta, yeah. But I feel like a lot of it is triggering because she still haven't dealt with those emotions behind her kids. And that's not an easy get over. That's not a situation where we was together for a couple of years and it is what it is. They have real deep, really rooted history. And Marquez know her in and out, whether y'all want to hear it or not. And I feel like, you know, that plays a lot of role. But I do feel like, I hope that she do, I feel like, but I hope that she do get the help that she need. Maybe her and Ken may not, I don't want to say don't need to be together just because they already 3-4 years in at this point. But I feel like Ken is in for a ride. If he's gonna stick it out, he's gonna be in for a ride, because she needs that therapy. She needs to learn how to deal with Marquez without her feelings, and what she invested in him, and that love that she has for him, and that Marquez still has for her too. That's why they both acting out and being crazy. And hopefully, you know, that she can figure it out. I like seeing Dr. Ken. I feel like he's a breath of fresh air. But you know, hopefully she gets the help. Like I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I just know that she has that hurt. And you know, Ken is just a piece in the puzzle, unfortunately. And I mean, he's a piece that's not even fitting. And I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. And if she doesn't know how to navigate that, like I said, Ken is good for her right now, but she gotta heal her heart. Martell go see Nell and he didn't mention Ariana's name, baby. I see why Ariana was mad and going off a few weeks ago, baby. They was saying her name, baby. Martell thought they were fit to put her on the show. Do you hear me? Ariana this, Ariana that. I'm getting the half for Ariana. I've been paying the bills over there. Martell, your ass ain't paying no damn bills over there at Ariana house. I don't know. He might, y'all. Child, I'm supposed to move Ariana into the investment property. Okay, Martell. Him and Marsau claim they done made up, child. I'm sick of him and Marsau. Chris saying that, you know, he thought Martell was coming to the daycare. The way him and Marsau was acting was kind of funny. Child, I'm over it. I just feel like Martell is Martell. Child, since Mel is not on here, he don't have shit to talk about. He don't have nobody to harass. Him and the Scotts, they done made up, so maybe they'll be cool. He's saying, you know, he will bring the other lady out. Then why Nell talking about is since you and Marsau done sit down, is Ariana and Tisha gonna sit down? You know damn well Tisha is not fit to sit down with Ariana. And if she did, baby, it did not make our cameras, did not make our TV screens. I don't believe she sat down. I don't think Tisha would ever sit down with Ariana. Tisha do not want to know nothing Ariana know about Marsau. Do you hear me? And if she do know, she don't want you to know that she know, okay? So Yeah, that was pretty much Love and Marriage Huntsville. It wasn't too much that happened this episode. I like I said, I did like the scene between Chris and Dr. I mean, not Chris, between Trish and Dr. Ken. I I'm interested in seeing her growth. If she's gonna be on the show, hey, give us something real. I'll watch it. Everything else is the same, nothing new. Like I did say, it's good to see more Trish, to see more into Trish life besides the surface level stuff. So yeah, even bring Marquez back on. Damn, Marquez was funny, y'all. Y'all didn't like Marquez because of the situation with him and Trish, but I feel like they both be doing shit. So all three of them, Marquez, Trish, and Ken. So bring Marquez back on. Bell Collective, I feel like was a waste of all our time. It was decent. It wasn't just good. I feel like I would rate Bell Collective I'm gonna give them a 6.5 out of 10. I give them that. The drama was stale, and that's me being nice, really giving them a 6.5. And Carlos, 7 episodes, sir, you could have just dropped all these episodes in one day and called it a day. Like, really, you do better, Carlos. Anyways, that's it, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and come on over here and kick it with your girl. Bye, y'all.